up, Matt?
What?
How we doing, brother?
Not too bad. How are you, dude?
Not too bad, not too bad. I'm trying to fix the view. I don't know. Well, that's a little bit better. I'm trying to make it to where like I can see myself how I previously did. Not that like not trying to be egotistic, but just want to be able to see the view there. Not bad. All right. How was the start of your week?
Not bad, dude. Not bad. Um, I got to train quads and calves today, and I was actually able to do some weight on like squats and leg presses and like get full depth and
Yeah.
didn't really have any pain. So that's cool.
No, dude, that's sick. That's awesome. That's like
Yeah.
pretty big milestone, honestly, amongst like the surgery and everything, right?
Mhm. It'll be 5 weeks post on Tuesday.
Nice.
So, and the surgeon was like 6 weeks probably, and like
You're right
I'm
on track.
betting by 6 weeks officially, I'll probably be pretty close to normal or closer.
Yeah. Heck yeah, man. That's awesome. Happy to hear that. I had a
Oh,
rest
cool.
day today, so I went and saw the parents and then came back here. I got a client's plan that I got to work on who's coming on board, and then yeah, chatting with you boys for a minute. So, but yeah,
Right
man.
on, dude. It's not bad. So is
Yeah.
Aiden coming in a little bit?
I think he'll be here, yeah, around like
Hmm.
6:30 or so. I figured you and I could maybe just cover some of the general bodybuilding news in the meantime, kind of the aftermath of the Arnold. And
I
I kind
wanted
of
to say, dude, that post got people riled up.
it did. It
I was
really
like,
did.
I
I was
think
oh, go ahead.
I think the poll where it said banned from the Arnold or 1 year suspension is
Yeah.
likely what did it.
I think so.
A
Yeah.
couple people called us, like someone called us crybabies or something this morning.
Yeah.
I was
Someone
like,
called us crybabies. Another guy said that we're just trying to go viral. And then,
one of them was like, I don't have time for the drama yet. He was like continuously commenting,
yeah, continue to
like
comment
saying,
like on every other every other person's
yeah.
comment.
I'm like, okay, like that's like, don't get me wrong, I got no problem with your opinion, but like that, you are
Yeah,
commenting
but,
about the
but you
drama.
are a part of the drama, exactly. And I think it was warranted, especially like I think it's a decent question to ask, obviously with everything going on today with Martin, I think he made a post earlier today. We'll kind of cover that in a bit, but
I
um
think banned is a little drastic in my opinion.
band might be a little
I could,
much.
I'm here for like asking the question of like, should the IFBB get involved? Because
Yeah.
then there were rumors of not just his antics on stage, but backstage. So,
Right. Well, here's
but
my thing with it all. And like me and my coach Brad kind of had a discussion about this. And this is probably like more realistically what I think should happen. They should probably just fine him. You know what I mean? Like fine him a certain amount of money. And I don't know what that fine looks like. I don't know if like we need to look at his net worth to determine like what's a deemable fine that doesn't like make him go broke. Cause I mean he did just lose all the sponsors today. But
yeah,
it's just tough, man. I don't know. There has to be some sort of form of punishment upon the IFBB, in my opinion, because otherwise, this is just going to trickle down to like even the amateur ranks where like guys are just going to want to be like Martin, honestly think that they can just get away with whatever. And that's where it's kind of, and I would hope that's not the case, but we see it in every sport, man. I mean, that's just unfortunately the case. Like we have these hired guys that are like really truly like amongst the best, and we all look up to them. And whenever they do some sort of example, whether it's like trendy with like the way they're, I mean, in bodybuilding, there's only so many things you can do, but like whether it's football or basketball, like a guy wears an arm sleeve, you're probably wearing an arm sleeve. You know what I mean? A guy does some sort of certain dance, you do a certain dance. And in bodybuilding in this fashion, if a guy's not doing a fist bump or not doing a handshake or any sort of cordial like sportsmanship after a competition, that's going to trickle down. And that's kind of where I think that the IFBB should step in and say something.
I disagree with you on that in terms of like it's poor sportsmanship for him to not shake his hand and to snub him. But like I don't think the IFBB needs to get involved because of that. Like that happens in
Yeah,
NFL and NBA as well, where people walk off the field and they don't shake hands.
right.
I think I would have no problem with someone talking to him about the way he cheered for Nick getting second. I
Yeah,
think that's a bad look. I think that's unsportsmanlike. It'd be like unsportsmanlike conduct. So like something
yeah,
along those lines. But
right, right. Some sort of
you know,
penalty of some sort, right?
yeah, I suppose, or just maybe a firm talking to of like, hey, we see that again, and you're out because I
Yeah.
feel like that made the whole sport and the whole show look kind of bad.
Yeah.
in my opinion. And
Well, it's,
then
oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
if he did um, put hands on Nick backstage, then that I think would be grounds for some type of like, hey, slap on the wrist or something along those lines of like, hey, you can't be doing that and setting an example in that sense.
Right. And I guess that's where I mean to come where, like, with it all, like, I don't necessarily mean like just because the handshake, like, with everything compiled up. And I guess they have beef like since like 2022, man, like, of like Martin saying like some pretty out of pocket things to Nick. And I mean, regardless if we want to go into a vacuum and just look at this solo incident, if we look at everything that was this weekend alone for Martin, it still might be deemable for a fine if he truly did put hands on Nick and he did swear at him and he did go through essentially like a whole fit on social media. And granted, like I said, I mean, obviously with everything that we know right now, like I hope Martin is doing well. I hope he's seeking help and I hope that he's kind of coming content with himself over everything. Cause at the end of the day, I mean, we don't want anything drastic to happen because of these actions and because of hate. Like, you know what I mean? Like this isn't
Yeah.
worth like I listened to Fuad Abiyad on the way to my parents, and I totally agree with his sentiment. Like this isn't worth a life. Like bodybuilding is not that deep. You know what I mean? Not worth like
Mhm.
taking your own life potentially. So like that's something that I definitely don't want to. No one wants to see that. You know what I mean?
Of course,
However,
yeah.
we definitely should have some sort of conversation of like, hey, like we can't be shoving people backstage. We can't be like blatantly disrespectful to another colleague of the sport, a peer of the sport. You know, it's just a bad look, like you're saying, from an outsider's perspective. So,
Oh,
um,
absolutely, right. And you toe that fine line of everyone has been in prep and lost their cool at some
oh
point in
yeah,
time.
yeah,
If you said you haven't, you're lying.
yeah, you're full
Like,
of it,
yeah,
right?
you feel bad for the guy to an extent because like emotions run high and he's put his like heart and soul into it. But at the same time, when it's been an issue for years and years and years, and like there's obviously something more going on there,
Yeah, I
but at
think
the
so.
same time, like how much leeway do you give them, right? Like when do you say enough is enough? And I
Right.
don't know the answer to that, nor am I judge, jury, or executioner. So like
No, yeah, we're just
it's
like, and again, this
tough
is kind of like the
situation to be
comment that
in.
I made. Like, we are just bodybuilding fans that have an opinion of the sport. That's all it is, man. And
Yeah.
like, we can't deem a fine, we can't deem what would be a proper, punishment for this. And yeah, I think that post maybe if you're looking at it solely from a vacuum of like he just didn't shake Nick's hand, like yeah, that's not what I mean to determine like a year ban or a ban from the Arnold. That's not necessarily what I'm saying. I'm saying everything that was this weekend might need to be looked into, and maybe a fine's more realistic rather than like, hey, you can't compete for a year, or hey, you're banned from the Arnold. Because I know he's previously been denied from the Arnold, so it's not like the Arnold's itching to have him come back to the stage, or like that they were like. I mean, they've denied him previously with applications before, so he's been pretty evident on his socials to make that known as well that like he didn't necessarily agree with not getting accepted. So regardless how we want to look at it, I think we're all wishing Martin well. We all want him to kind of reflect upon this and hopefully just come to a peaceful decision where whatever that might look like, you know. And we hope for peace with Martin. We hope for things to kind of come to fruition here with maybe a video here to explaining the results of the show, and maybe Tyler Mannion even touches on that during the recap of like saying like, yes, we're acknowledging it, we're in contact with Martin, we're getting him the help that he might need, like whatever it might be, you know. We're hoping that Martin is okay, and we're hoping that things kind of resolve upon the next coming days or weeks or however long it might take. So now we kind of got that out of the way, because I think we did ruffle some feathers and stir the pot a little bit with that post, and I didn't necessarily mean it to go into that direction. It was just a discussion I thought might want to be had upon the bodybuilding community.
Yeah, I mean, we never even. I mean, the poll may be miscommunicated to some people that they're like a punishment should be evident, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't believe that was the intent of it.
No, it was just
Our
a
our
thought.
our opinions weren't stated,
If
so
there
it's
was a
like,
third column, there would have been or other or a fine or something. You know, I mean, I think that it's just there's only two positions, and those are the first two things I thought of when I was typing up the post. So
yeah,
that's just bodybuilding fan.
gotta
Just
be gotta be more careful, dude.
I know it, bro. I had some people coming at me, so I need to be a bit more careful with it. But overall, like I said, we hope Martin the best, and we can kind of go into some bodybuilding news here. Let me share the screen. As you can see, yes, he got dropped from his sponsors. And we can kind of just, I think we've talked enough about Martin. We can kind of let that pass. I do kind of want to touch on Andrew Jack, though. I mean, he is the Arnold Classic champion of 2026. So I think that he deserves his flowers. And maybe we take a second look at the showing that he brought. And this is a comparison with his Olympia look that placed him third. Off first glance, what do you see here, Matt?
Uh, I mean, I do think he has a bit more pop to him, and like he does look just a smidge bit tighter. But I mean, it's a relatively similar look, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
I do think he's a bit more full.
I think he's a
Out
bit more
there, though.
full for sure, and
Yeah,
especially you can tell from the back. I think that his lats kind of just have a bit more pop to them. Um,
I
and
don't think he's necessarily as sharp in the lower body, though.
yeah, I definitely don't. I don't think so either. And I feel like that this shot kind of tells. And I know he's not hitting it the exact same, but we saw striations on the quads here, and we're not seeing as many. He's hitting the shot different, so it's harder to kind of determine that. But um, I don't think that he's like crazy improved. I think the way he's hitting this most muscular definitely looks better. His arms look freaky in comparison.
Yeah, the legs spread out, give him a little bit of a larger
Well,
kind of like X, I guess.
right. And that's kind of been the discussion whenever we're talking about this show. Like, do we go with the 100% bang on Nick, or are we going with the 90% Andrew? And IFBB decided the 90% Andrew was enough. And they went for the silhouette, they went for the shape, and they went for a guy that might not be as crazy conditioned as Nick, but they went with a guy that still brought a good enough package to get recognized and went with the shape, at the aesthetics. And it still kind of baffles me a little bit. I know we've kind of had a couple of days to kind of sit on it, and more footage and more photos are coming out, but this was truly the best Nick Walker that we've ever seen, and I don't think there's any question about that. um yeah, I mean, this shot right here I mean, it's pretty evident, I mean, the legs especially, like, we see way more detail in the lower body than we do Andrews. um
I understand as to why they went with Andrew, and I do think that Andrew has one of the most impressive physiques that we will see in our lifetime compete practically,
right.
just with the shape of him and how tall he is and everything along those lines. But I was, and I don't have a problem if the IFBB decides that that's the route they want to go. I just was very surprised based on how I know bodybuilding judging criteria at that level to go
Yeah,
and the way they typically pick winners. I was not expecting Andrew to win, and nobody was really talking about Andrew to win, in my
nobody.
opinion.
Yeah.
But I went to the gym today and I talked to Jimmy and Derek, and both of them were like, I thought it was Andrew's show all day."
And
And I guess you
it's
saw
odd.
something I didn't.
That's it's kind of odd because I feel like and I mean, you see the comments here, like you have guys saying if Andrew doesn't win, bodybuilding sucks. Like Andrew, he wins with the shrugging emoji. He's perfect. Like I understand, like the silhouette is like crazy on Andrew, and I'm not here to deny that whatsoever. He's definitely the best shaped guy in this whole lineup and the most, I don't know, I guess aesthetically pleasing without a doubt. But I
Certainly
mean,
so.
I mean, there's no debate about that. But when we're talking about pound for pound for muscle, and we're talking about conditioning, and we're talking about an overall peak, Nick's peak was better. His conditioning was better. And you could argue some body parts are even more freakier, or I don't know. I don't want to say aesthetic, but I mean,
Nick's
leg,
hamstring is more impressive than Andrew's hamstrings, and I will say that in my
yeah,
opinion.
Nick's back is more impressive than Andrew's back. I think that
I
personally.
don't I don't know if I could give you that, to be
I
honest.
mean, if we go all the way to the lower lats, Andrews is already starting to. It maybe it's the way he's posing, but I think Nick has that shot.
It's a Andrew's got a great back, dog.
I don't know. I don't think we see eye to eye on that because I don't know. I think Nick's back overall was just a bit more freaky. Has more
That's fair.
density. Um, and maybe we have a few like shots here.
I don't think it's a blowing him out of the water back, in my opinion. I think they compare quite well. I do think
Right.
Nick's lower body is what seals the Breer poses for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree there. I understand your thought process there. Let me go to Gill
Like, yeah, I
Codes.
do think Nick's back is better, but like, I don't think it's. I think Andrew has a solid back himself.
Right. So it's just photos, but they have photo videos. Yeah. So Andrew, we'll do him first, then we'll go to Nick.
We also mentioned this on the live stream, but we thought it was ironic for Andrew to get the best poser award because his
Yeah.
posing routine is good. His mandatories are just
Just not
could use
great.
a
Yeah.
little something extra.
And I think that this video kind of it helps Andrew quite a bit. It makes us at home kind of understand like what the conditioning might have looked like, there in person and what the judges could have saw. Um, but I mean, and it's supposed to be getting a little bit better, but still not great. Um, but from the back, especially, it's just I just don't see. There's not as much dugout hamstring. The glutes aren't nearly as tight, and the back just isn't as depth for me. Like the depth there isn't there for me. The density isn't there, and it kind of recedes a little bit in the lats here. Like the lower portions are just not as prominent as Nick's are, and I feel like that for me kind of gives me the edge, and that's considering the conditioning and everything as well, and the overall complete package that Nick brings that Andrew just doesn't have here with conditioning and balance and everything. I just don't know if his back lat spread is good, but still a little watery from the back altogether. Yeah, I don't know. And this is impressive, man. Like we're never gonna see like proportions and as crazy as it look like this outside of Andrew Jack. I'm not gonna deny that. But we compare that to Nick here, and Nick was
I mean,
just
it's a big time apples and oranges thing, right?
it is. It really
And
is.
classic physique is supposed to kind of hit the more aesthetic look. So if you start going for aesthetics in bodybuilding too,
Yeah.
I don't know. But I mean, Andrew does pack a lot of muscle on the frame, but he's not nearly as dense as a Nick Walker. So it truly is a difference of
It's a whole different,
opinions.
yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
just it shows the subjectivity of the sport. But I'm just surprised based on how we've seen bodybuilding judging going lately that
Right.
they made that decision.
I just feel like that's I mean his lats go a little bit deeper. I feel like they're thicker. He's more conditioned. And that's like you said. I mean, it's a subjective sport. You take Andrew in that rear double. I feel like I take Nick there.
Because
And
Nick's shape is terrible. Let's be
yeah,
honest.
no, I agree.
Right?
I see your point. His shape is definitely not nearly as aesthetic as Andrew. Yeah,
So we're truly what you decide is more valuable in the judging criteria.
yep. I think they made that pretty evident with the call there to give Andrew the win.
I agree. Yeah.
Which as a
I probably
Nick,
wouldn't have done it.
no, I'm
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Like it kind of I feel for Nick because I feel like
He's a
he's
happy camper though, bro. He
oh
doesn't
yeah,
give a
he's
shit.
thrilled. He's thrilled. He
And
brought the
rightfully
best
so, because he
package.
looked sick.
Right. Hottie was somebody over the live stream whenever he placed third. We both were kind of shocked there. And then we thought it was evident that it was going to be Nick, then Andrew. Um,
No, Andrew than Nick.
yeah, sorry, in the
Yeah.
placing order. Yeah, Andrew, then Nick.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, the air was sucked out of the room when they announced Toddy third.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, you told me you listened to the live stream and you kind of heard that.
Yeah, there was a big gap. Even Hottie looked kind of like
He looked
Hottie was,
shocked. He was
yeah, he
happy. He was
did.
smiling and stuff, but that was like a smile
Yeah.
of like, really? Like, there's no way.
He was like, all right, that's how we're doing it. Fair enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, because I think, I mean, just based on like the commentators and what all the bodybuilding Instagram pages were saying, they're like, it's Nick and Hottie one and two. Like,
Right.
so no, it was just very surprising.
It
And I think
was.
it shows how big of a, or I suppose, I don't know, how surprising of a call it was, right? To
Yeah.
put Andrew in first because I don't think most people were expecting it.
No. Yeah, I know I certainly wasn't. I was pretty confident in Nick at that point. I feel like that was pretty evident. We have Ayden Jordan right now, I think. Yep. So yeah, man. I mean, I feel like I feel like that the judging is like after a day to kind of swallow on it, I still disagree that Andrew I don't think Andrew um Should have been first, in my opinion. However, I get where they're coming from, and I could see their point. But I had Nick winning, and that's just kind of where I saw. In this video, Martin kind of shows that he was in fair condition, still a little watery.
What would you say of like to 100%? What would you say like 75, 80, 85% Martin here?
I would probably deem this to be about an 80% Martin.
Think so?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so. Considering his Prague look, and
Yeah.
we can go back and compare the two. I don't know how long that would take. I feel like shouldn't be too terribly long because it wasn't horribly long ago that he competed. Was Gilko at the Prague? Do we know?
I do not know the answer to that one.
Well, Martin has on his page, so I guess if I just go to his page, probably be able
I
to
think
grab
he
it.
went private, dude.
Did he? Oh, we get still get some stuff
Oh,
here.
nope, we still got him.
I'm sure he has some Prague. Yeah. If we compare that last video, Martin, to this one here, I mean, this is. I mean, look at the cuts. Look at the conditioning. Like this is.
The look's not comparable, like
It's
from
just
the
not.
Arnold. Yeah,
It's not. Ayden, welcome to the chat, by the way, brother.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, what's up, brother?
Hey,
I just think that this look, if he would have brought this look, I think we would have maybe been looking at something different. I think he maybe even could have etched Hottie. Like I think we could have seen a Martin third.
I would have loved to seen an on. Yeah, like I could see.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
crazy. That's crazy.
that's a shame. Because this, I think, yeah, I think this would compare very favorably next to Hottie. I still think that Nick outmuscles him,
Yep.
but yeah, I think he could have.
I think you could
Who
maybe etch
knows?
Hottie. If Hottie was still, if he would have came like this prejudging and Hottie came how he came prejudging, I think he would have
Mhm.
had enough.
It would have been a really good comparison.
Most
definitely.
definitely. It's a shame that he didn't get the condition, but I think
Shit
that's just it
happens,
is what it
dude.
is. Yeah, it is. It is. Um, so that is kind of the Arnold Classic recap. Ayden, the only thing you really miss is we talked about Andrew and Nick. I guess you kind of give your input. Do you think that these were the
Yes.
right placings? Like, do you think
Share your
Andrew?
opinion with us.
Do you think
So I
Andrew was
I think
first?
I think what happened was the Arnold Classic judges were trying to make a statement that size wasn't going to win that show anymore. So I think I'm telling you what, when I saw Nick walk out in both prejudging and in the finals, I legitimately did not see any way that he lost that,
Yep.
like in my opinion.
I
But
think that's the majority of the bodybuilding world.
yeah. And then the scorecards were kind of weird. Like they didn't make any sense really.
That's
So
something else I wanted to touch on too.
They
The
had
yeah.
Andrew
scorecards
winning both prejudging and finals.
made no
Yeah.
sense to me. No
And
sense.
someone had him losing finals, but that point didn't go to anybody else.
Yeah, I just now noticed that as well.
Yeah. Very strange. Like, I'm not upset that he won because I do like Andrew, but the scorecard didn't make much sense.
That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I think whenever you look at it like that, I mean, I don't know. I don't think that that makes much of any sense because that point had to go somewhere, right? Matt,
Yeah, it should have.
Matt, you see what I'm seeing?
You know,
Because
I've always felt like the way that they judge bodybuilding and the scorecards, it's overly complicated for very little reason in my opinion.
I completely
yeah,
agree.
And
most
I think
definitely.
it's like they almost like it that way.
Yeah, they want
Yeah.
to make it seem like it's like just some other
Like
world
what
that
if
you don't
6 and
understand.
7 and 9 and 9? Like
Yeah.
give them a 1 out of 10 rating. Like fucking what the fuck is this?
Yeah. I don't
I don't
understand.
know.
I don't understand
I'm
this
no judge.
whatsoever.
I don't know. I
No,
have
no,
no
none of us
knowledge of
are.
it.
None of us are. But this like by all means, by any format you plug it into, does not make any sense. Is this Arnold? Like, is Arnold deciding? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that makes
Yeah.
no sense. That makes no sense there.
Well, Aiden, let me ask you this. Do you think it's the judges making a statement saying that size is not going to win at this show? Or you think that's a statement that they're trying to make moving forward? Because the top judges judge most of the same shows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. I mean, these are the same as the Olympia judges, aren't they? The Arnold.
Yeah.
I
It's
believe
it's
so.
hard to tell because I mean, it could be that there's just a shift that's going to occur And
Certainly.
which, I mean, you can't complain about that. That always happens. There just throughout the years, it'll always shift
Yeah.
how they want to judge any category. But I think many factors could have played into it. Like, I do think Arnold could have had some kind of say with what happened with the judging beforehand. He could have been like, okay, guys, I don't want to see mass monsters coming on stage and winning anymore. Like, I want to see a more classic open bodybuilder win.
Mhm.
Which, if that's the case, you know, if a better Martin walked on stage, he probably would have done better too.
Yeah. Well, that's
But
one
we'll
thing that we
see. We'll see
discussed on
that
the live
shift.
stream.
Yeah.
We discussed that
Well,
during the live stream. If Martin, like, if it's really an aesthetic game, why did Martin place so low? And it could
Mm-hmm.
be solely because Martin was so off that's
Mm-hmm.
why. But I don't know because I mean Hottie was like extremely off during prejudging. So or not extremely. Let me rephrase that. He was off
Yeah.
during prejudging. He wasn't extremely off. I don't think Hottie's ever been extremely off in his life. But
Yeah.
I do think that when we're talking about aesthetics, like how does Martin just automatically get fourth here? Was he that bad and that like that deemable to just be no matter what, like aesthetics are not fourth? Because that doesn't make any sense to me if that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
Because Andrew was off during prejudging and he still had first place votes there.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. It's definitely a tricky scorecard, and I just now noticed that that issue there. I didn't know that that was the case there. So it makes for a conversation for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Curry looked good though in his fifth place, respectable fifth place placing there. Brandow was a little bit off for what it's worth. I think that Brandow just needs to come in a little bit tighter. And I don't know. Is he doing the UK? Does anyone know?
I do not know the answer to that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
If he's doing the
Um,
UK, then he has a chance to come back tighter and potentially, um, who knows? I mean, if they're going the aesthetic route, he might be able to get past the hottie. If he comes in diced, I don't necessarily see that being the case, but you never know at this rate with the judging.
I'd love to see him come back like in another like month or two at a later show, a little
Yeah,
bit like
put him in
maybe
New York.
substantially tighter.
Yeah, no, substantially. Yeah, I think that this was
He could
pretty
use a few
evident.
more weeks of dieting, maybe.
Right, definitely.
But he
Did
does
you?
look sick, and we talked about that. Like, had he come in shape, that would be a great call out for Brendao, but to be in
Yeah, definitely. If he's in shape, I think that he's within that mix there because he's
big
just as
time.
tall and just as aesthetic as a Andrew Jack or a Samson.
Yeah, he if he was in shape, I think he would have give Brandon and Martin a little bit more of a run for their money.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. So that was an interesting call out there. And
Hassan
then
did beat the rookie,
he
just
did
to let you know.
just barely.
When Jared gets
I
on
was
here,
sad. I was sad when I saw those results come.
I
I was like,
told
damn
you,
it.
I
Hassan
told you
did.
all, I told you
You
all.
did, and I mean,
You did.
I didn't expect Anthony Williams to come in. I guess looking as
I
like
would have
especially with
given
these.
it to Anthony Williams, to be honest with you. I would not have had him place lower.
Yeah.
No. I
Because
think
he
that
came in good condition.
He did. He
Yeah.
absolutely did. And
Hmm.
Hassan was not.
yeah, not Hassan was Hassan in that sense.
Looked like a damn water buffalo up there.
I mean, he's
Right.
massive, but like we know
He's
he's
so big.
massive.
So yeah, that was an interesting Arnold Classic, to say the least. And then obviously we have all the Martin drama. We don't need to touch in on that anymore. We kind of discussed that to start the video. The classic scorecard, I guess it was a bit closer, but not really. I saw some posts that said it was pretty close between Matthias and Wesley, but it doesn't look like that was the case. And this kind of looks fucked up. I don't know what happened here. Oh no,
Is his name
Matthias, his
so
name's
long?
long. My bad. I'm shitting on
I thought it
Matthias.
was weird too.
I was like, what is going on here? But his name's just so long. But yeah, this was kind of a clear win for Wesley, and he's actually going to Detroit this week.
Yeah.
And
Which is interesting because Mike Thurston might also be going to Detroit.
I heard that he might as well, which we don't have an official men's list yet. I don't know if even I don't think the Detroit page has posted anything either.
No, I think Fuad uploaded. They did a podcast not that long ago, and he said it should be up by the end of the day today, but it's not for sure.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
hopefully it does come in. I'm excited for the show. The little bits that I've heard of him, I guess Blessing Awodabu's doing this show as well.
Mm.
And then you do have Bofuda, you have Nathan Epler, Aaron Goalie, he's going to be in there. A guy
He's been
from
around for a while.
Yeah, we have some really interesting guys coming to the show. And I'm really amped up to kind of see how this all plays out. Just I guess looking at Blessing alone, because I thought Blessing has been kind of blowing me away with how he's looking. He's kind of reminding me of like that indie pro look um, that he brought way back in the day.
I was there.
You were there at the show, so yeah, you got a chance to see that live.
Yeah, he looked sick. Yeah, he looked
Yeah,
really cool. Yeah, I was not too far away from his family and his girlfriend. Like they were sitting just like a couple rows over and they were super happy and screaming
Yeah.
here and it was cool.
yeah, that's pretty sick. And I think that I mean, he's looking like he's bringing a pretty gnarly package here.
Yeah, like
Um,
that. Yeah.
yeah, dude, he's looking good.
I
And
would I'd like to see it because I think it's been a couple years since he's brought something really solid.
yeah, I mean, those legs that's probably the most conditioned he's looked going to a show for quite some time, I think.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, and that kind of gets me excited because I am a Blessing fan, regardless of all his like social media shenanigans. Or like he's very much a comedic kind of guy, and I do appreciate his content.
He's got
Um,
good physique though.
he does, man. He really does, and he's somebody that I really think could do some damage. If he
Yeah,
comes in
absolutely.
on point like this and his
It's
legs are
big,
diced,
big arm, bro.
oh, dude, it's crazy. If he comes in like that, this might be his show, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Like I
Whew.
don't know who's beating that.
No, like 100% him. No, I don't think anybody on the Detroit stage is gonna be able to do that.
No, Blessing's looking good, and he's somebody that I think. Oh, here's a little bit posing for us.
God damn.
This was a week ago.
Yeah, that's
That's looking good, man. Let me see
bro.
it. Let me see it posed here.
He like can't put his arms down because it's
So wide.
Can you go to that ab and thigh? I want to. Yeah. Ooh.
The vacuum looks best on him in my. Oh, this
I
doesn't even
agree.
look horrible though. This looks
No.
good.
Yeah. I mean, because he's had trouble with that one leg before, but it looks pretty decent.
Yeah, they looked
Oh,
Yeah.
dude,
even
Shit.
enough.
this is a killer look.
Yeah, that's a great side post
That's a big
Yeah,
leg, dude. Yeah. It's just a big dude in general.
for
yeah,
real.
he's looking good. This was 5 weeks ago, so he's tightened up quite a bit within the
Yeah.
last 4 weeks now.
Yeah.
I really, I know that we aren't going to get the competitor list by the time we do the next cast. I think next cast is going to be on Saturday, so it'll be post show, post Detroit that we do the next one. But I'm just going to cast my vote. I think Blessing wins this.
Yeah, that's a fair assumption.
We have Nathan Epler also doing this show, making his comeback to the stage. I don't know. Last time he competed was 2023 or 2024.
I think it was 2023. I'm not sure.
2023. Well, this is him
24.
right now at a week out.
24.
24. Okay,
Yeah, okay.
24. This is pretty much like a full pose down video here. I mean, he's looking good too. Don't get me wrong. It's just I don't think that it's as like gnarly and as crazy body parts as Blessing.
No, if yeah. I mean, I could see, I mean, I think Nathan's gonna place well for sure, just because he
Yeah,
is really conditioned.
and
Um,
he's definitely brought up some body parts. I will give him
oh
that.
yeah.
The legs I think have came up a bit. The delts and the arms look crazy here. I think I'd like to see just a little bit more chest in the most muscular here, but I mean, who am I to really be nitpicking here? I think he looks pretty good
Hmm.
He is someone that I do think looks better when he's standing next to, like when he's on stage,
on
you
stage a bit
can
more.
see the impressiveness of his physique a bit more.
This is a day ago, 6 days out. He's aesthetic, man. Like he's an aesthetic beast right here. So
Hmm.
I think you're looking at 1-2, Nathan and because I don't think. Cause, I mean, unless I guess here's also a scenario
There's
if
Well,
Mo
yeah, there's
Fuda, yeah, he's
Mukuda.
doing it, and if he tightens up, this could be
Hard to say.
Mo Fuda's show too.
I think Blessing, gosh, I don't know.
I think that's your
What do you,
top three, right?
what
Would
do
you
you
guys all
think?
agree with that?
Yeah.
More than likely. What do you think Nick does for his qualification, dude? Because
He,
he could ostensibly jump in.
I thought the same thing, but
He
He hasn't said
should.
Fuad
anything.
confirmed today that he's not doing Detroit,
Yeah.
which
He probably wants to
sucks.
do New York again or Tampa or something. I'm
Hmm.
guessing.
See, this is what's weird. He was a
I
week
think he wanted
out.
some cheesecake post show. He's thinking,
Oh yeah, without a
maybe I need a
doubt.
break, dog.
I think we see Nick go to New York, in my
Give
opinion.
himself a little bit of a like a little celebration for looking so fucking sick.
Well,
Yeah.
he's just peeled out of his mind year round, bro. Like you gotta enjoy life a little bit. And I think he's gonna do that here for like a week or two, and he's gonna go right back to it. And I think he's gonna go
Hmm.
into New York, and I don't know what package will come in New York. I don't know if it'll be slightly smaller or if Nick like really finds the formula since he did his own
Well,
prep.
I
And Matt, you were spot on. He worked with Guy. Like Guy was his second eye,
I
so
knew
he
it.
he confirmed that.
I do think I do still believe that Nick has a very great chance to beat Derek at the Olympia, regardless if they decide to continue with picking Andrew to win.
Hmm.
I would prefer Nick's physique over Derek's physique. Always look
100%.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
far more impressive to me than Derek's physique in my opinion.
Yeah.
definitely.
Nick just gets so, when he's on, he is so shredded. And I just feel like Derek just kind of lacks details sometimes.
Bro,
Yeah,
that's what Nick is like what you think of when you think of like a freak bodybuilder. And
Yes.
yeah,
Derek had good shape and good aesthetics when he was a bit smaller.
right.
I don't feel like it's the same anymore.
Hmm.
So like
No,
I don't feel like the aesthetics, I don't feel like his freakiness is better than Nick's, and I don't feel like his shape or yeah, I don't feel like his shape anymore outshines
Hmm.
no,
Nick's freakiness and condition.
no. I completely agree with you there. Um, it's going to be interesting because I think that when we're talking about somebody like Derek, I think that Derek brings just that freak factor, kind of like Andrew in the back. Like I think Derek's back kind of blows everybody away. So like I think that's his shot. And Nick rivaled him at Pittsburgh last year, mind you. But
Oh, yeah.
I think that back shot is truly like it's one of a kind and truly one of the best ever. Um, so I think that back comparative to Andrew will it's just going to be light years ahead unless Andrew does some crazy stuff this off season. I put in quotes because I mean he'll have off season. I guess if he doesn't compete until the Olympia now, I guess he'll have a true off season. But um, I don't know. I think Derek's back is like just so much ahead of Andrew's. That's going to be pretty hard to compare in that shot alone. And Derek's also aesthetic as hell. Like let's just put
Yeah.
it point blank. Like his waist is small, he has crazy legs, his back is just absurd and just goes to these wide lats. So whenever you have somebody like Derek in comparison to Andrew or comparison to Nick, I don't know. It's tough. I think Nick compares better to Derek than Andrew does.
Yeah. Agreed.
Mhm.
And
'Cause,
then or go
yeah.
ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I mean basically kind of what you're saying. Like Nick's back and side shots are just so damn lethal, but Derek
Yeah.
does beat him from the front, right?
Yeah, I think so. This was 3 weeks ago. I mean, Derek is just this is our Mr. Olympia right now, and he's not letting go of that title easy, man. And I
Mm-mm.
think that he's got some hungry dogs coming after him, though. I mean, you got Andrew, you got Nick, who I assume Nick's going to qualify. I mean,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
don't
sure.
think that that's going to be a problem. You have Samson, who's kind of been silent, but he's been bulking. He'll be bigger. So,
Hmm.
and you have Hottie, who I imagine will go into the Olympia. I know right now it's kind of that question. Like there was some post show that he was going to retire, which I think it was just
They
false
said that was
news.
fake news.
Yeah, false news. So he's I think he's just taking a break. He's not sure if he's gonna do the UK or not. Um
I
but
heard he had
no,
his visa and he was going to do the UK.
I don't know. Is that new news or have you when was the last time you heard that?
I saw the post the other day, I think, yesterday.
Yesterday?
Oh,
Maybe he is gonna do it. I thought that let me go beyond the stage. I think they've been covering it excuse me, pretty diligently here. Um let me see.
Man, I feel so bad for Andrew though, because like he is getting no limelight for winning at all. It's all controversy from the Arnold right now.
yeah, he got outshined a little bit, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he really did, dude. Like not the win doesn't even take the biggest headline of the show, which is crazy.
He got the biggest check of bodybuilding
They've been
history, too.
Yeah,
150,000.
yeah,
Like,
and
ugh.
nobody's saying a word about it because they're all just so concerned with Martin and with what
Hmm.
Hottie's doing. This post right here was edited 12 hours ago. He's not retiring. He's just choosing. He's going to use the next few days to decide whether he's going to compete at the Arnold UK or shut
Uh,
it down until the Mr. O. So he is going to go to Mr. O this year. So you have Hottie who potentially could still rile up that top three, top four.
Is
It's
he
going to be
qualified?
yeah.
Oh, he's a past Mr. Olympia.
Yep, him and Samson both are good.
That's it.
So
Yep.
Nick has to qualify. Martin's already qualified. So and that's dependent on what we see Martin do.
Do you guys think that Martin should still go into the Arnold UK? Because I honestly think he just needs to
take some time.
take some time, get his mind right, because right
Muscle
now
Discord posted that, which I don't really follow or like his content, but I think he made a fair point here with Martin. I don't think Martin's done with competing, but he said that the right move is to maybe step away from bodybuilding for a little bit, and whatever that looks like, I think that might be a good thing for him. Just take some time. Don't go to the UK. Take some time away. Try to improve. Just go silent if you have to. Do whatever you got to do, but then come back just absolutely lights out the Olympia, like Prague peaked and everything.
Exactly.
And keep it cordial, man. Like just keep the cool, calm, collected head, because like that's all you can do,
Yeah. My thing is, you don't necessarily need to like everybody in order to be a good sportsman, but that's ultimately not what got him dropped. It was everything else.
Yeah, I think so. It's just tough because I personally I'm a big fan of Martin. I think that
Me too.
Martin's like one of those guys, that's just like killer. I was trying to see if they dropped anything but the New York, but it's not looking like or not New York, sorry, Detroit. Yeah, I don't see anything for the contest list for Detroit yet. But those are my top three there. And again, kind of circle back, kind of put a cap on the Martin conversation. We hope he's doing well. We hope he takes the proper time that he needs to get himself right. And we hope that the next time he steps on stage, not only is he conducting himself in a respectful and sportsmanlike manner, but we hope it's the best Martin that we've ever seen. Because I think we're all fans of Martin's physique. I don't think there's any doubt about that. It's just a matter of how he conducts himself.
Did I share that story on the live stream that I met Martin and that I competed with him?
No.
I didn't share that.
You told me that once. You told me.
Yeah.
I've never.
I want to hear the story. You didn't tell me.
It was 2018 Junior Nats, and that was back when it was at the Hyatt in O'Hare. So it was only like 3 hours away up in Chicago, and we were tanning, and I knew who Martin was because Martin was a big deal back then. This is 2018, mind you.
Yeah.
So like I'm aging myself big time. And I was like, hey dude, I was like, you look really good. He was like, thanks, bro. And he looked like he was dying. And I was like, he's like, what division are you doing? I was like, I was doing bodybuilding. And I was like, dude, I know you from Instagram, blah, blah. Like, very cordial. He was fine. And then it was me, him, and Bo Lewis actually backstage because bodybuilding went last and we were sitting there just dying. But yeah, he was talking about how he lost at Junior USA's like a week or two prior to Eric Wood. Yeah. And in my opinion, it seemed as if he had a chip on his shoulder then, like when he was speaking. That was my opinion. But he was very nice to me when I met him, and I do think he has a fantastic physique.
Okay. So maybe this is another chip on the shoulder for him, which he's had multiple chips on the shoulder before. And I feel like the Prague one was like kind of the biggest one because none of us, I think, saw him beating. I don't know. I didn't see him beating Samson at Prague. I thought Samson. You did? All right. So I
don't like Samson's physique.
You had a lot of people. You had a lot of people. I think like probably at least 60 to 70% of the bodybuilding world did not see him going to win that Prague show. And he did, and he came out. He looked killer. He looks like absolutely bang on. And
lights out.
Best look by far. And I think honestly, you could argue the best peak of 2025. Like altogether. Like I don't know if we can really deem any other peak to be that great.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So I mean, when we're talking about having a chip on your shoulder and like having that kind of like that hungry dog in you, I think this is probably the biggest one that Martin's ever had. Like the whole world and bodybuilding community is just absolutely hating on this guy. And I think at this point, it's just going to be a matter of putting the head down, doing the work, and not having to worry about what certain people think or what certain people like what you're essentially trying to get over on social media, like what your point you're trying to make across. Like not everyone wants to hear it right now. So I think it's best that you just take your time, get get mentally well to whatever that looks like for you. I don't know if that's journaling. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just more training. Maybe it's just more intense training. And that's his therapy. You know, a lot of people have different types of therapeutic tendencies and fashions, but regardless, just take the time to do whatever you need to do to get mentally well and bring a crazy physique and just shut everybody up. And I think that honestly would earn more respect across the bodybuilding community than anything else. Is just going quiet, doing the work, coming back, and maybe apologizing. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't have to apologize. Maybe he just has to simply just conduct himself in a better manner.
Exactly.
That alone would be, I think, a good enough representation of himself.
For sure. And none of us understand the pressure it is to have
No, not
350,000 followers and get. I'm sure he gets nasty shit all the time.
Oh yeah, I can't imagine, man.
I can't. Yeah, like, and I hate to ever cast judgment on someone, right? So like, it's never that his actions were not great, but like that doesn't define him as.
But no, it doesn't define him as a person.
Nothing but the best for him. And yeah, dude, just focus on the bodybuilding, dude. Just
it makes everything so much easier, man. Just focus on the bodybuilding.
It's just not worth the headache that like your pride or just not. If he would have shook his hand, he would have woke up today, no different, and he probably would go and potentially win the Arnold UK, and his career would still be great on track. But because he couldn't just keep his emotions in check, like it's just never worth it, bro. It's not.
It's not.
It's never worth that. It's not.
No. And like I said, we all wish him well. We all want him to be his ultimate best on stage. And I think that kind of sums it up well, Matt. I mean, we just want him to be at his best, and we want him to focus on bodybuilding, and we just want to root Martin on as a bodybuilder. And ultimately, like, we want to see, like, we want to root for like a good person, you know, like we did with Chris Bumstead. He's a great person, like in general. You just know he's a great person. With somebody like Nick's had people say he's cocky. He's had like a different type of attitude. But I think Nick maybe has turned that leaf in the same sense. Like, he's still confident in himself, but he conducted himself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He conducted himself so well after that loss. The Instagram post, like that was
right. And again, coming back to what Matt had said, none of us know the pressure of what it's like to have that many people like possibly hating on you in your DMs, talking all this. Like, we don't know what any of that looks like. So we have to cast, like, we don't need to cast any judgment. We just need to hope that he's doing well. So I think
those dudes grew up in bodybuilding too, man. Like they're kind of like me in the sense where they started when they were teenagers, and as you get to your later 20s, you even look like, I'm sure you guys look back now and think like, oh, dude, I was an idiot when I was a teenager.
Oh yeah,
you're gonna look back in like 5 years and be like, what the fuck was I doing when I was 23? So like, having to grow up through all that, and like, a lot of
have that amount of tension too.
Yeah, you're gonna have that dumb shit put on blast in front of it because they've been social media famous forever, dude.
Yeah.
So like, I think you can tell a difference between the two and how they matured through their maybe drama they had prior in their careers.
Yeah. And who's to say that he doesn't turn a leaf too? You know, like, you never know. You just never know. And I don't like
back from the last time.
Yeah. You know, so I don't know, man. It's just, we hope the best for him. We want a great bodybuilder and a great person within Martin. I hope that we get that. You know, that's all I can really say. I hope that we get that as a fan of the sport, as not anybody that can cast judgment, as like an amateur, as a true fan of the sport. Like, I just hope that we get the best Martin overall, you know,
exactly,
the person, as bodybuilder. So
agreed.
I think with that, man, I think I'm gonna probably go ahead and just end the video there. I think 7:15 is about the time frame we were looking at. So I want to thank you both for hopping on today here.
Thanks for having me.
If you've made it to this point in the video, obviously, thank you so much. We want to go ahead and ask you to go ahead and like, comment your thoughts on the whole Martin situation, as well as maybe your Detroit Pro predictions, and drop a subscribe as well. Give Matt a follow, give Ayden a follow. And
I feel like we should do that more.
I feel like I should say something, you know. Hey, follow the Keep Working Instagram as well. You know, we're dropping some clips there, and we're just trying to spread our little insight on bodybuilding, as well as share our opinions, because ultimately that's what we are. We're fans, and we just want to share opinions with others and get your opinions as well. You know, that's what the sport's all about.
And
So
we're not offended if you disagree with our opinions, and
not one bit.
we're going to be offended if we disagree with yours.
No,
No.
I liked every comment on that video because I feel like everyone has a right to their opinion. You know,
Yeah,
everyone has.
you asked for it.
Yeah, I asked for their opinions.
Yeah.
I literally put comment your thoughts and opinions below.
It's
And
like when people were commenting kind of like angry or negative. I'm like, dude, we're asking for your opinion.
we want your opinion,
We
bro.
didn't make a statement. Calm
Yeah.
down.
Exactly. But again, thank you so much for watching. And everybody just keep working, man. We'll catch you on the next cast.